This video is sponsored by Squarespace. I'm Dave.
I'm Stevie.
I'm Dad.
And I'm Son.
Welcome to another episode of D&J Projects Wednesday Special. Morning. It's Saturday morning for us, but it's Wednesday for you guys. And what we're doing today, we're in the yard, back to our roots, doing a bit of maintenance. And it's going to be draining. Literally draining for me and Stevie. Yes, it's a play on words with a title. We've got one drain to fix here, one drain to fix around there. The landlord has asked us to sort this drain out, and the one round the back is flooded, and I've approached the landlord and he says get it sorted and we'll sort it out. So what's the first job we're going to do? This drain's collapsed. What's happened? We've done it before, and the DPD drivers, or delivery drivers, even though there's a cone there, just motor over it. So what we've decided to do, it on a Saturday. Well, I've been putting my ear protection up, because we need that. Yeah, so what we're going to do, we're going to saw cut a nice big square around it, get all this old concrete away, take this gully top off. We're going to do something with the brickwork there. We're going to place it back, let that go off, because we're going to shut the gates because we're not actually open today, and then we're going to go around the back and sort that drainage out around there. When this has gone off after a few hours, we're going to come back, we're going to replace the concrete around here, and then we're going to stick some kind of pallet on it so no one drives over it again and leave it for a couple of days. So first job is, let's get this cut.
Always be protected. It was going so well until the suppression got a little hole in there. That's why at the end of that time lapse you would have seen me directing suppression to the blade of the steel saw to stop the dust from forming, because it just won't come out of the steel saw now because there's a hole in the bottom and it's coming out of that. I have to get a new one now. It's too hard for the pick. You can only get so much out. You can see the bars there and everything. Quite strong around there, so we're going to get the brake off, break all of this out. As you can see a bit more of that drain cover now, so I might be able to get that out soon.
So now we've took away the concrete, you can see what's happened. The lid has actually slipped off the drain. So what we're going to do, lift that, get it out of the way, clean this up, and we'll have a look, see if we can get it sat on some proper bricks. Right, just put it there and I'll take it down that way. Yeah, I'll put it on your...
Thank God it don't smell.
Alright. You are.
Thank God it don't smell.
So we've cleared that off, and you can see the pot now, the gully. So Stevie's just clearing it out, because I may as well while we're here and it's open. This is going to be a similar system to what we're doing around the back. The water fills up, but all the slurry, silt, muck goes to the bottom of this bowl.
Quite deep.
It should be very deep. And then what happens, no muck or silt goes down the drain, just water. But if you let these fill right up and the silt comes right up, that's when you get a blocked drain, because then it overflows. So we're just clearing this out now.
Do you think it would smell?
It's starting to now. You're only a bit closer to it, it's starting to.
Dad can smell it before me because he's dead near it.
But this is only rainwater, surface water. It's not a foul drain. There is another hole at the bottom. So we'll show you on ours we're going to put in, but it's like a bit of a swan neck. Oh, Team Swan merchandise coming soon. But when we go around the back, We've got a big version of this, a big plastic version. I'll show you in more detail them 2 holes. So now Stevie's cleared that out, what's next? We're going to put the gully back on top, and then we're going to measure, put a level across here, and we're going to measure the distance. And then what we're going to do, we're going to use some engineering bricks to sit it on. A bit like the domestic insert and cover we did at my house.
And for anyone wondering what actually came out of that drain, that right there. We'll use that as a cement.
As mentioned earlier, this video is sponsored by Squarespace, the one and only place to create a not too shabby website. If you like us and need a website to promote your business, Squarespace is a place to be. So if you're thinking you might not be up to making a website from scratch, need not worry, because the cool thing about Squarespace, they have templates ready to use which you can customise. If you're feeling creative and want to start from scratch, that's also possible. Here's one I started earlier today.
So here we are on the Squarespace website. Here are some of the templates. If you like anything that you see, then you can just start your website using one of these templates right here. But if a template isn't for you, you can use a blank template where you can create your own website from scratch, pretty much what we've done here, you see. Go into the website and you can quite literally change anything that you want on this website. I started this one earlier and I was meant to add some pictures. Click onto the gallery and then you can see I like the look of this one. Click this, you get 6 pictures. Now you can change those pictures to your work. As you can see, I've added this before and after fencing install. We'll put that onto the website and then everyone will be able to see that. You can see it just there on the website. And if we ever decide to change our name to J&D Projects, it's as simple as this. Squarespace really is the place for website designs.
It's a nice bonus with Squarespace, which all websites are compatible with mobile phones, and that's not too shabby. So for everyone who needs a website, or for the ones who are thinking about refreshing your website, Squarespace is a place for you. Head to squarespace.com/DJ Projects to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain name using code DJ Projects. I want to say a massive thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring the video. Back to the video we go.
I've had a little clear up of the site, took away a few tools that we don't need. We've put the level on, we've measured down, and it is 1 brick. So my dad's just gone round the other side now to get the bricks. He brought little red round so we could empty the barrows. All we need now is 1 brick's height, and obviously once we've set them down, hopefully that drain will be nice and level and it won't be moving any time soon. Also as well, for any traders or any potential customers, we are now currently closed on Saturdays. Me, my dad, and maybe 1 or 2 other of the lads will be in for like this sort of work, maintenance work. But on Saturdays from now, say 6th of November till the end of January 2022, the shop will be closed on Saturdays. If you want to pre-order, that's fine. You can do a collection service because we will be here. But any brand new sales on Saturdays, not possible because no one's going to be running the shop. Just thought we'd let you know.
So right, we've got some solid engineering bricks. What engineering bricks are? They're a hard brick. Rather than being a soft brick, they're a hard brick. You use these for drainage and stuff like that. I believe they don't soak as much water up. Like I say, they're solid. So what we do, we work backwards. We put the frame on the bottom and then I put the bricks on all 4 corners. You put a level across. That one's fine. That one's fine. But if you see, there's a little tiny gap under here. Same with that one. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to whiz 10mm off because that gap there will transfer to that. So if I take 10mm off that, in turn that will drop down. So we'll take 10mm off this brick, just like this. There you go, that's cut. So what we're going to put that back on there, level across, and we're touching both sides. So all we're doing now, we've got our bricks. We build them up on the corners. And what we're going to use a rapid set cement. So we'll get this done, get it set, and then we'll show you when it's done. So there we have it, what we've done. We've bricked around there with engineering bricks, and then we used a high strength cement mix, which is going off already. And you pour it all around so it's all over the frame. So in turn, that's not going to move anywhere. So we're going to go around the back now. This was only the appetizer, and we're on to the main course now, around the back. And then we'll come back round when we've made some concrete, and we're going to concrete both of them up at the same time. So hopefully, no one's going to run over this. Now we're at the back of the yard, you're onto the main course. What we're doing, we're replacing this old collapsed drain, which is not even fit for purpose. Drain literally, with a bowl on it, is literally that big by that. And it's got to take the whole of this yard, surface water and silt and everything else. So what we're replacing it with? We're replacing it with this bad boy. So this should be quite adequate to take all the silt and rubbish away. And I mentioned earlier about the swan neck merch coming soon. That's what I meant. So you've got one here, a bit like your toilet system at home, one here and one at the top. The connection goes on there, and that pipe goes into that. That pipe is 6 meters long, so it's just in the right place. I'm going to put it near enough in the same place because it all falls to here anyway. So what have we done? We've laid the pipe out, which that there is only 4 inch anyway. So we've gone right up on the scale to match that there. So I've marked out with spray the track, and what we're going to do, you dig from here back to there, because if you do it the opposite way round, you can't sit over the track. So we're going to start from here, dig all this out, and then we're going to dig 1 meter down by 1 meter across. And that will allow us enough for the gully lid and the gully bowl to sit nicely. So let's get this cut and start digging.
So then, as you can see, we've been making a mess, been digging it up all the way down to that drain with a small bucket. Now we've put the bigger bucket on with the teeth to get all of that big square out, that meter by meter square. But again, I guess using the magic fingers, we'll get that gone. And there's our hole, meter deep, meter wide. Just sorting out the levels now. As you can see, that is pretty much the principle. Into the bucket, straight down into the drain. So next stages really, like we said, is levels and concrete. Hopefully you can hear me, but that's pretty much set up now. Now it's time for a semi-dry mix pretty much, and I'll show you how we're going to do it. So we're going to use Little Red as the wheelbarrow. May as well fill the bucket rather than a couple of wheelbarrows, and obviously we're using the volumetric concrete mixer. I'm sure you've all been shown before. You fill it up there, and then it feeds it down right here. You see you've got a sharp sand right there on the right, limestone on the left, and see that trickle, that cement running all the way down there, and it mixes. You've got the water there, and it mixes in there. Obviously you don't want to be putting your hand in there, so we'll stay clear of that. It takes a few minutes for everything to start kicking together, and as you can see the limestone will come out dry, and then the proper mix will start coming out. You always have a little bit at the beginning that's not a good mix, so once that's out of the way, you start churning it out nicely. As the mix is almost getting to the right consistency, we're going to fill this barrel up and go to the front. It's going to take a long time to fill that up, so if we fill a barrel up, we can go do something whilst that fills up. We've made our way around with that wheelbarrow. Now it's just to get this one filled in. We'll do this one nice and quick because, you know, it was only the appetizer. Not too shabby indeed. Let's get round back and get that main course. So here it comes. Here comes the dry mix. Only using dry, just for the bottom, and then we'll start putting the proper wet stuff all over this bad boy. So it's just a waiting game now, waiting for the bucket to fill again, and then we can keep filling it in. A little bit more of a dry mix this side, wet mix on the top. I'm running all the way down there. Ready for some wet stuff. So we've got some wet stuff down. The beeping you can probably hear in the background is little red coming out of the unit right now. Ready for the second wet mix. We'll show you this one going in. Not too shabby. Working our way down to the drain. Almost getting there. Just need some more for down there as well. Jordan's just going to fill up the mixer. Weather's starting to turn against us. Just starting to rain. Can you see on that puddle just there? Of course you can. That is the beauty of having your own volumetric mixer. You can produce quite a lot of concrete relatively fast in comparison to your normal mixers. There's a story on this drain anyway, but once this has all been levelled off, I'm sure my dad will explain what's actually happening.
That's it, all finished. It looks rough. Don't worry about that because this is all being tarmacked over because, don't know if you can see, we can't get this drain any lower because we're restricted by that chamber. So what we've got to do is build this level up and fall everything into this. This is done properly now, where before it wasn't. So we've left it rough. We're gonna tack coat it and just cover the whole lot with tarmac.
So that means all of this area, everything that you pretty much see on the floor is all going to have tarmac over the top. It's stupid because it almost seems a waste of time doing that. Still going to have the same problem. But it's because this is so high. What my dad was on about, that can't be dropped anymore, because if that's dropped anymore, rather than all the surface water go into there and run this way, it won't be able to do that because it'll be fighting against gravity, and gravity always wins. This will always run down there. So that's at the right height. The tube that you saw earlier, that's all leveled running down into this drain, and it had to be at that height. It could not be any lower, otherwise the water would run that way. And what is the point of that? So hence why my dad's just said all of this has got to be built up with tarmac. But of course, that will not be in today's video. It will be in a new separate video. Well, I hope you've enjoyed what you saw so far. We're pretty much coming to the end of this video. A little bit of a tidy up now. As you can see, the weather's turned against us. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video like I've just said. If so, smash the like button because that really does help the channel. Merchandise is also live for anyone interested. The link will be down below. We'll catch back up just before we finish. So as you can see, Jordan's just finished off tidying up and cleaning the last few tools. It's getting dark now as well, pretty much at the end of the day. Just recap what we've done. This is the new drain, a massive container, pretty much in there to collect all of the water, all of the crap, push it all the way down there, and then obviously that will return down there, and then that drain will return down that way. It's a shame we've got to tarmac a lot of the area for that to work, but it is what it is, and it had to be done. I guess we better get it done pretty fast, because if we have any major downpours, well, anything up to 2 inches will go in, right? But if we have big downpours, if we have the little downpours, it's not going to go in that drain. But I'm sure we'll get it done sooner rather than later.
So that's another day at D&J. I hope you enjoyed what you've seen, and if you have, hit that like button because it helps the channel out a lot. And if you're brand new around here, why don't you subscribe? Until the next one, see you later.